So after I started, I don't know, I remember you telling you that I kind of branched on my own a little bit. I'm still with Team Bull, love Team Bull, always been part of, like the family. But then I started to open up my students and I have my team. And I just wanted to ask you a couple of things so you could reach out to them and let them know.
Totally.
So, jumping right into it. Coming from a trader who's obviously made millions of profit, what would be your number one advice for someone who is brand new coming into the trading, coming in, to prop firms and things like that? What would be your number one advice to give to them?
Expectations. I believe that too many traders come in with the wrong mindset, wanting to get rich quick, wanting to find the silver bullet or easy strategy, when most times success can be boiled down to how well you can manage your discipline and how much you can avoid self-sabotage.
Okay.
For me, I look at it from a perspective as there's a million strategies in the world. You can go learn the nearest strategy in the next 20 minutes on YouTube. What you can't learn in 20 minutes is how to manage your emotions, how to accept a loss, how to look yourself in the mirror and deal with and fix all of the bad habits you've built up over years. That's where DOD for me comes in, is that I was an addict of cheap dopamine. I'd overtrade, I'd revenge trade, I did drugs, I drank too much, you name it, I did it. And when I finally dialed in my discipline and stuck to my rules and stuck to my system, that's when things really started to shift for me.
Nice. So the second question would be, for someone who is dealing with tilt, he's dealing with drawdown, he's constantly losing trades, what would be your, I guess, a coaching or a mentor advice to that person who is just dealing with that?
You need to stick to a set of rules. If you set rules for yourself, let me give you an example. If you lose 2 trades in a day, or you lose, say, $2,000 in a day, you're done. You're finished. If you set that rule for yourself and you stick to that rule, how are you going to go on tilt? How are you going to revenge trade? Because if you hit your maximum loss limit or you hit your maximum number of losing trades and you keep that promise to yourself, then you're done. The fact that you're going on tilt or revenge trading typically means that you're not sticking to your promises. You don't have the discipline to listen to yourself. And a lot of times that starts in daily life. If you're constantly skipping the gym, constantly breaking promises to your spouse, or constantly going back on your word in every other area of life, you're likely going to replicate that in your trading too.
Okay.
Because you can't be an undisciplined person and expect to be an extremely disciplined trader.
So the next question would be, for someone who likes a challenge, who is constantly putting their body in through physical torture, you literally developed a system, discipline over dopamine. What would be some choice of words that you would give to people to tell them, how do you deal with discipline? How do you get better at discipline?
I think it boils down to embracing discomfort. For a long time, like many people, I avoided discomfort. I avoided pain. I loved comfortable. I loved easy. Well, if you choose easy now, you get hard later. If you choose hard now, you choose pain, you choose discomfort, you choose uncomfortable in ways that will better you in life throughout the process, things get easier over time. So for me, I look at it from a physical perspective. If I push myself to the limit now, I'm going to look beyond limits later.
Right.
If I push myself to have a better diet and to focus on hard tasks and do the hard thing now, life gets easier later. Versus if I say, oh, I'll be easy, I'm going to stay comfortable now, I'm going to do what I want because it takes minimal effort now, well, I'm setting myself up for a very tough life and more difficult life later.
Yeah.
So that mindset shift really warped things for me when I loved easy, I loved comfortable. I would constantly medicate myself with things like marijuana or alcohol or other vices that made things easier in the now. When I was able to cut them out and focus on bettering myself and bettering my mindset, I got to the place where I am at this point in life where I own my mindset.
Yeah.
I'm in control of my destiny. I'm not a slave to any of my vices or to any of my emotions. Sure, as a human, yeah, I have emotions. Yeah, there's good days, there's bad days, but the bad days don't wreck me and put me off track like they used to.
All right, got it. Well, guys, you heard it from J-Dunn himself.